Hello, welcome to Disconnected. I've been following this for a while. I am originally South African. My father still lives there. So I've been keeping a bit of an eye on this whole thing. They were making some threats, the EFF, to shut down the country today. They've been saying this for a few days. So for those who don't know, the EFF, the Economic Freedom Fighters, is a far left kind of political party in South Africa. You could kind of say it's a splinter group of the ANC or the ANC Youth League. There's some information on them on Wikipedia. Anyway, so they were intending on bringing down the country. That sounds a bit harsh. Apparently, what they were trying to do is bring the country to a standstill, protesting against rolling blackouts, the collapsing comedy. The collapsing comedy. There's no lack of comedy in South Africa. Let's be clear. The collapse in economy, and also corruption in the government. So the problem with this whole thing, why this is scary, is because the EFF in the past have made some outrageous demands, and also have said some outrageous things. They, one Boer, one bullet, that kind of stuff. One white, one bullet, all that kind of stuff. So they have been extreme. They're very small, and they don't have like this massive amount of support. Like, they won't win an election, let's put it this way. But they do have a very much of a cult following, in my opinion, and they can be quite radical. Now, a lot of things to be taken from this, I think, because although I don't trust the EFF whatsoever, and I don't think anybody really does, and their real motives, it does, however, personally kind of ring to me, because I find it so important that people can protest and that they protest, especially in the case of what's happening in South Africa. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows that's listening to this that isn't South African, but South Africa has got a massive power grid issue. They can't produce enough power to supply everybody all the time. So they have this kind of rolling blackout system where you will literally end up with no electricity for hours. And this is everything and everyone. I mean, literally everything and everyone. And it goes according to like a schedule. And obviously a huge part of the problem is that the certain infrastructure in the country is just failing because it's not being kept up by the government. There was I can't remember who it was, but at the time when the ANC took over after apartheid, after the first free elections, the government at the time was quite clear to say, listen, if you are intending on bringing everybody in South Africa out of poverty, South Africa is not producing enough electricity, does not have enough electricity provision for that to happen. So they would have to start a process of building a lot of new power stations and maintaining and upgrading the infrastructure, and that never happened. And that's one of the reasons why South Africa is now sitting with this blackout. South Africa is far from a poor country. The only reason it's poor is because of corrupt government and mismanagement. And I don't think anybody will disagree with that. Anyway, so the EFF were intending today to basically try and bring the country to a standstill out of protest. And I've been following this the whole morning, and it doesn't seem like there's a massive problem yet. There was one, so I was going to play this one first.
as part of their national shutdown. They've been doing this for quite some time. When we arrived this morning, a few members were arriving, and that's, the scene that's been playing out throughout the morning. I'm going to try to come in and read some of the placards that we're seeing. We are tired of corruption. You'll remember amongst some of the things that underpins this national shutdown is, of course, the issue around corruption. And we're seeing some of them saying our people sleep hungry, crime is too high, and a few of those other placards that EFF members are holding outside this taxi rank.
So to be fair, that does not seem like a massive protest just yet, but this will be happening in lots and lots of pockets all over the country. This is in KwaZulu-Natal, so Durban area.
Arrived in buses and taxis and so on, so a lot of them now marching towards town. We're hearing that they are probably going towards Louis Botha, which would be the central town. But of course this will be affecting some of the businesses within town, and so it's important to find out from people like the CPF in terms of how they will be affected. As you can see behind them, the Metro Police also following the march. I mean, it's very difficult for many businesses at this point because they're not sure what's going to happen. How have they been affected this morning?
I think more so it's more about fear that has settled in due to the unrest. But we just want to guarantee and we want to reinforce this issue that this isn't an unrest. The EFF's calling for a shutdown. They're here, they're protesting. That's what they're doing. It's quite peaceful. You can see all manners of law enforcement are here on scene. They obviously have things in control. And all of that's currently here to protect the democratic right of everybody.
So the time when I started recording this, it was about 45 minutes ago, and we're now at it'll probably be around 11 o'clock in South Africa when this video was taken, roughly. 10 o'clock this was taken. But then you have the the other side of it. It's when you see or hear about protests in South Africa, this is the common sight. Police shooting at people with rubber bullets. I mean, why shooting at somebody who doesn't look like they're part of the protest and running away, and yet still shooting at them? What's interesting about this video is you can obviously see there was some chaos there, but I don't see any shoes, because one of the things you always see when there's like a protest and they've been chased by police, there's like shoes everywhere from people running and losing their shoes. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but it's one of those kind of classic things. But it doesn't look like this is like anything horrific, just dispersing crowds. So I didn't know about this guy. Lux. Apparently he's a very prominent person in Soweto, and he's been trying to campaign. He's made it his effort to make sure that the protests do not stop any kind of economic activity within Soweto itself. And someone bombed his house. So on the one side it all looks very kind of calm and organized and not as bad as it seems, and on the other hand you have police shooting rubber bullets at folk, and you also have a prominent figure whose house has been bombed.
The actual house, Lux's house, for security reasons, we've been asked not to show, but this is apparently where the bomb ricocheted off from the electric fence. I'm not exactly sure how this could have happened, but it seems as though it ricocheted off of the electric fence, and then this is the second bomb that's caused the damage to nearby houses. I do see Lux is currently in another interview, but I'm going to try and come through here and speak to the community here.
Small-time operations. It also speaks to the quality of leadership in this country. When people have a different view to you.
Actually remove the tape. I'm just going to, sorry to interrupt you, Nhlanhla. Maybe just tell us what's happened. Your house was targeted?
Yeah, look, my house was bombed. Two bombs were thrown at my house. And not just small bombs, proper bombs that, just to help you understand the quality of bombs, it literally all my neighbors' windows shattered, completely shattered. And that tells you that this is a well invested in operation. It's not one of those small time operations. It also speaks to the quality of leadership in this country. When people have a different view to you, when people actually beat you at your own game, the EFF said they're bringing a shutdown. And I'm not targeting the EFF and just blaming them out of an uninformed expression. It's informed because it's only the EFF supporters that took out videos on record on different platforms, social media platforms, calling out my address, telling me that if I don't stop challenging my lemma, I'll get killed. Not probably. That's what they said. I can quote them. Even their CIC said, whoever tries to stop us will meet their maker. And let me tell you what I did. I stopped. I literally led.
And that's why this is a problematic issue, because on the one hand, I always support people protesting, and on the other hand, the EFF are not necessarily the kind that you trust. So, right, let's see if there's anything new happening on this. Coverage. I'm gonna watch the live coverage. All said and done, it is massively important that something happens in South Africa to fix this. And unfortunately here in the UK, man, we're going down the same route. We've got the most corrupt goddamn politicians, and everything's falling apart around us. Nobody can afford shit anymore. And here they went, and after the Just Stop Oil protests, they brought in these anti-protest laws, which is the first thing that you should protest against. That's just my opinion, but there you go. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, tell me your thoughts below. Thank you.